Hello and welcome to Long Beach Lens. I'm your host, Derek J. Simpson, Executive Director of the Long Beach Community Action Partnership. Our first guest is the founder of Global Fashion Mission. Please join me on this show in welcoming Lyneath Vong. How are you?
Good, Derek. It's so nice to be here today.
Yeah, last time I saw you, it was out at one of the local festivals, and you were doing your thing there. And I was mentioning to you before the show and to staff that I picked up one of the candles from you, and I always loved it because it was just by my bed and I could smell it even though it wasn't lit. The fragrance just wafted through the room. Wow. But before we get to about the candles and the products, your story is so amazing, and the story of your family. And I was reading about it, and it said that your family came through the killing fields. And yes. Tell those who are watching a bit about that story and how you guys came over from Cambodia to here.
Well, I was a baby back then, and while my mother, my uncle, and my older brother, I had to travel through the swamps and through the jungle with me. No one wanted to be around my mother because she had a baby. So if they were to hear me cry or anything, the Khmer Rouge, the soldiers would just go ahead and kill you. Through this journey, unfortunately, we did lose my sister. She did pass away due to starvation.
Starvation, right, I read that.
And her last breath was basically Mom. And that just really devastated my mother. And then she had me shortly after that, which kind of helped bring her back to life and right. Look forward to escaping the country and being able to be sponsored and come here to the United States.
Now, I also read a quote, and I'll read it, and I want you to tell me what you think. It said, we weren't murderers, criminals, or rapists. We were just a shattered family looking for a second chance at life. And that really resonated with me because when you look right now about all the immigration issues going on, even in that point in time, you were saying these things, but people today, I'm sure, are saying the same things. What thoughts would you like to share about that?
It's about providing someone a second chance. And without the opportunity of coming here as refugees, coming to love this country, becoming a citizen, and doing what we can to give back to this country that we so love, we would have never had that opportunity had we not been sponsored by a Christian family that brought us over here. So I think it's very important for people to understand, here we are fleeing from a country where it was in turmoil, where people were being executed for no reason. The highly educated, just because they were educated, were just executed, and things were just, their families were taken away from them. Their entire life was taken away from them. I lost, my grandfather, my grandmother. I never had a chance, my sister, to even get to know them at all. And so just being so young at the time, obviously I was able to hear the stories that my mom had shared to keep the memories of them alive. And just tying that in with now, it's 2017, and that happened back in 1970s. Wow. Yeah, so well over 30 plus years, and we're still obviously facing the same challenges here. And what I can say about that is, we are all human. We all have the same blood, and it's red, and it runs deep, regardless of what we look like from the outside.
Right. Well said. And if all of this wasn't enough for you personally, then you have to endure 2 sexual assaults in your life. And the things that struck me when I looked into that and read more about it was you said 2 things occurred as a result of that. One was that you decided to embrace life as you got through that, and you were a strong enough woman to get through that. And the second was that you decided that you were going to make your own path in life. How did you find that strength and come up with those decisions?
When I was assaulted at a very young age, I didn't even know I was assaulted until I got older. And then the first time it happened to me, I was 7 years old, and it was a very close family friend. And then when I was 14, again, it happened from another person. It was a close family friend as well. I can tell you my role model is my mother. She's so strong and she's so brave to endure what she did. And to make that decision to say, you know, I am not going to wait around for anybody to lead the way or a man to come in my life and to help me through this. You know, it's a supernatural strength that I had from God that gave me the strength and the ability to endure what I did and to say enough is enough.
Right.
And I'm moving on and going to make a difference and be a voice to people who have gone through it in one way or the other, that there's hope.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier, speaking of hope, that, you know, you embraced Christian values and it was a Christian family that helped your family come over. But you also talked about the fact that you've eventually gotten involved with the Cambodian church and reached back to help others that are experiencing similar things that you have.
Yes, Cambodian Harvest Church is the church that I attend. I've been a part of that family for over 20 years, over 20 years, and I've served there since I was at a very young age. I had an opportunity to go back to the motherland when I was in my early 20s. I was sitting in church in the pew. The pastor said something that resonated, and I said, you know, I need to go back, and I don't want to go back to the motherland empty-handed. I want to go back and bring something and give something back. And so I was able to raise money from the company I was currently working for at the time, WM Financial, and through friends and family. We raised over $2,000 and was able to put together care packages for these children throughout Cambodia. Got them uniforms, you know, slippers, soap, you know, school, you know, pens, paper, things that we often take advantage. You know, just don't know how important it is.
So you go back and you eventually you quit corporate America. And you happened to go back for a wedding, I understand, which was a brother's wedding. And when you go back in 2012 to Cambodia, and we have some photos that we're showing of some of your journey there, you happen to see these elaborately designed bags, and that's inspired you a different way.
Yes, I walked into this huge bazaar, and I looked up, and there's these bags. They were made from used cement bags.
Yeah, and we see some right here on the screen now. Yeah.
Take it to the screen. And here's a community of families that actually hand make our handbags for us. I thought it was amazing to see that it's made from used cement bags.
Right.
And knowing that we are all about being green here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like this would be great in the United States.
And that's them all rolled up in the back.
That's the used cement bags rolled up in the back. Yes, right. That's where we keep everything in Phnom Penh in the studio.
Okay. So you go back then and you see them make these bags, and then what do you do?
I said I want to provide them with an opportunity to have these bags being marketed here in the U.S. so people can hear their stories. Okay. You're looking at about 30 different families, community families that actually consist of single dads, single moms, and just regular family units who hand make it from home, so that when their kids get off from school, that mom or dad is home with them, so that the kids won't be sexually exploited by people who actually visit the country. And we tie that in with giving back here locally in Los Angeles to human trafficking survivors.
So you're not just making a purchase of a product, you're supporting a cause, and you're possibly even saving a life when you look at it the way you've seen personally, or changing a life for that matter. Is that a correct assessment?
Yes, that's a correct assessment.
Yeah. So we have here a couple of the bags, and I was intrigued by this one, if you could share. What was the purpose, and tell us the story behind it.
Absolutely. Well, this was actually, the pattern for this particular bag was cut by a husband. Okay. And his wife is the one that sewed it together. Okay. And you can actually utilize this bag for so many things. You know, I have football players that purchase from us. They put their toiletries when they travel. I have women.
So it just opens up on the top there.
You open up at the top there, and we actually line the pockets inside the bag with rice bags that we get from Vietnam. So Elephant Brand is actually a cement company from Thailand, and it's handmade in Cambodia.
And let's show this one then real quickly.
Absolutely.
We have about 2 minutes left.
All right,
I wanna
sure,
make
no worries. Elephant Brand is a cement company from Thailand. Our products are handmade in Cambodia, and we actually line, can I open this?
Yeah, sure.
We line the pockets with rice bags from Vietnam. And you can see inside, you get a pop of color in there. And so you're looking at 3 different countries in one product.
Wow. So you have the bags, and then you came up with other products, but what is your vision for your company and Elephant Brand, and what would you like people to know about what you're doing and why it's important?
My vision for Global Fashion Mission is, is to be able to build a strong, sustainable business so that we can further focus on the humanitarian side. And I want people to know that when you are actually supporting us and making a purchase, you're definitely giving back to families in Cambodia, giving them a second chance, and giving survivors here a second chance as well.
And you're teaching them entrepreneurial skills, you're helping to keep the baby safe at home, you're helping to keep the family unit strong, and you're providing a quality product that's making a statement. You're just amazing all the way around.
Oh, thank you. You're just too kind.
Thank you so much. So locally then, though everything is made there, people will be able to find out more about you via your website.
Absolutely, globalfashionmission.com.
Okay.
We are at Huntington Beach Pier every Friday, talking about their awareness and sharing our products. And we are also participating with the Long Beach Art Walk on a monthly basis on second Saturdays. And we go as far as San Francisco. We're there once a month at Treasure Island at the end of the month.
Great. Well, we're out of time, but we're not out of questions. So you stay around in the community, and we're going to be in touch with you. And thank you for all you're doing for yourself and for all the community.
You're welcome.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, joining us in the studio will be Paulette Thornton of Goodwill, Southern Los Angeles County. Stay tuned for more of Long Beach Lens.
Como me vería en la escuela si yo fuera Martin Luther King.
Artful Thinking is a Long Beach-based nonprofit founded in 2010 to create artful events that educate the public about HIV and breast cancer while raising funds to support those services. Since then, we have brought Long Beach 2 successful comedy nights with Paula Poundstone and the monthly film series Out at the Movies, which featured appearances by Lily Tomlin as well as others. Beneficiaries include the Woman to Woman campaign in Long Beach, the Christina Applegate Foundation, St. Mary's Hospital's CARE program, the AIDS Assistance Foundation, the AIDS Food Store. Contact us at info@artfulthinking.org. Thank you.
Are you tired of the run-of-the-mill duties at your internship? Getting coffee, making copies, getting prescriptions for people you don't even know? Well, not at PadNet. We're making things happen. We're getting footage. We're making PSAs. We're getting interviews with people you're gonna know.
But I don't know how to do these things.
No problem. We have workshops, equipment, hardware, software, underwear, all for you to learn and absorb. Check us out at padnet.tv for more information.
Welcome back to Long Beach Lens. I'm Derek J. Simpson. Our next guest is the Marketing Director for Goodwill, Southern Los Angeles County. Please join me in welcoming Paulette Thornton. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. So you've been a little busy lately, I would imagine, huh?
Pretty busy. Always busy at Goodwill.
Always busy, and now they've added one more thing. And it's a unique store. It's called Edgar and James, and I read that it's a curated collection, and I can't wait to hear what does a curated collection mean in terms of Goodwill in your store?
Well, a curated collection means that we specially handpick our items that you find in the store. So we train our sales associates and our material handlers at all of our Goodwill stores to look through those items and especially handpick items that would be great for our Edgar and James store. And these items can be anything from trendy designer clothing to collectibles that are hard to find in regular retail stores.
And so what kind of training would one go through? I mean, because I'm sure they're used to just going through everything under creation. So did you have to take them aside and give them this training, or how did that all evolve?
Yeah, we basically train all of our material handlers at all of our Goodwill stores to look through items where they may find items that will be not only appropriate for an Edgar and James store, which sells trendier items or collectibles, but also for our Shop Goodwill website. A lot of folks don't know, but we have an e-commerce site. It's called shopgoodwill.com. I've become a real fan of it myself, and I even shop online myself through Shop Goodwill. It's similar to eBay, where you can basically bid on items that you find on the site, and they are similar to what you'd find at an Edgar and James store. These are higher end type of items, collectible items, jewelry, you'll find housewares, just very interesting items that you can bid on and take home.
Very cool. So the store is located in Bixby Knolls, and
Yes.
what I used to know was a Trader Joe's location.
Right.
That's quite a big space.
Yes, it's one of our larger stores. We do have some Goodwill stores that are about that size, but yeah, Trader Joe's is a larger store, but we're just really happy to be there. We've been able to design the store to blend in with the shopping center there, and we filled it with plenty of items. We're very fortunate to have a great donor community, not only in Bixby Knolls, but in our territory of Southern Los Angeles County.
And
So
speaking
we're
of
able-
that then,
sure.
so people from all over the, I guess, goods from all over the county come into that particular store, then it's not just Long Beach donations. Is that true or not?
It's not, yeah, you're correct. Our territory is Southern Los Angeles County, so
Okay.
that encompasses 22 cities and communities throughout our region. And we have donation centers attached to all of our retail stores, as well as we have about 7 independent attended donation centers in various communities throughout our region. So all those, sales associates who work at those donation centers, they can look through those items, and if they seem
cool.
appropriate for an Edgar and James store, they'll ship it on to our store.
So let's go back to the name, Edgar and James, because I was talking with someone that says, yeah, I saw that name and I thought it was going to be like a wine bar or something. So how did they come up with the name Edgar and James? I know there's a story behind it.
There is a story. Actually, the founder of Goodwill is Reverend Edgar James Helms.
Okay.
And so we played on his name and put the ampersand in between Edgar and James. And it's a a play on a store title similar to H&M or Abercrombie and Fitch.
Okay.
You know, so we just wanted to make it, you know, trendy sounding, and we thought that that would be a great way
Sounds like you did it.
yeah, exactly.
Sounds like you
to
did it.
brand it, yeah.
Now let's go back to the location real quickly then, because you're in Bixby Knolls. Was there significance when you were thinking about launching this store as to where you wanted it to actually be located?
Well, Bixby Knolls has a very vibrant business community,
Right.
and we've been wanting to. We always are on the lookout for locations that would not only be great for shoppers to visit, but also for donors.
Gotcha.
And it's been a great donation community. We have an attendant donation center not far from that location. And so last year when Trader Joe's announced that they would move to a nearby location, we just felt that it was a perfect opportunity.
Great. Now, is there a particular targeted client for that location versus any of your other locations that aren't branded that way?
You know, our targeted client is basically a shopper who is looking for a quality product at an affordable price, which is, you can find those shoppers anywhere.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah, so that's basically our target client, which is why we feel that it's going to be very successful in this community.
Now, how will buying from Edgar James locations, or any locations, but specifically that one, help Goodwill in serving its clients better?
Well, you know, anyone who supports a Goodwill store, including our Edgar and James store, they're supporting our mission.
Okay.
Because by donating goods to our store or by shopping at one of our stores, the sales of the goods that you purchase goes towards funding our mission, which is providing job training and job placement for individuals with barriers to employment. And these individuals are individuals who are considered low income, unemployed, underemployed, or considered the working poor. We have 9 job programs that we offer to local community residents, and 86 cents of every dollar in revenue that we earn from our retail stores goes towards funding that mission.
Wow,
Yeah.
86 cents, that's
86
pretty
cents,
amazing.
yeah.
Yes, and I know your boss, Janet.
Yeah.
Janet McCarthy, and she's an amazing leader in this community. And Harry, who's the chair, I believe, of your board, is also editor of The Grunion and an amazing leader in this community in his own right. And I say that because it takes a strong team to run a strong, successful organization. And you're a relatively new member to this team, aren't you?
I've been with Goodwill for about 3.5 years.
3.5, okay. And how have you seen things change from the role that you have with projects like Edgar and James and other projects that you have going on? What excites you about the way you're able to tell the world about the great work that you do?
Yeah, it's just exciting because you get to see the mission in action. A lot of people know Goodwill from donating, you know, or shopping, which is the way that I knew Goodwill before I came on board. But it's just so much more than that. Like you said, 86 cents of every dollar that you earn in revenue goes towards funding that mission. It's an awesome mission to put people to work. I work at our headquarters on Pacific Coast Highway in Long Beach. And at our headquarters, we actually have a multi-purpose room that actually host our graduation events. And these graduation events are for individuals who have gone through our job training program, like our Certified Nurse Assistant training program or our loss prevention training program. And some of these individuals, this is the very first time they've actually gone through a training program and have graduated from anything. And their families are invited.
Life-changing,
Life-changing, and their families are invited. And so we have these graduation events at our headquarters all the time. And it's because we have these stores that are, and these donation centers that are essentially funding these job training programs to help change people's lives. And I get to see that in action. So that's something that, you know, I'm able to not only see, but market it and let the world know what we do.
Now, the Edgar and James location will create jobs as well, correct?
Yes, yes. We actually have had hiring events right in front of the store before it opened, to let the local community know that we're looking for sales associates and material handlers to hire in the store. And so we always look at the community that we're in to hire folks, and also to be a good neighbor in the Bixby Knolls community. We've been out to the First Fridays events and shaking hands with folks and letting them know about the store being there. And there have been folks who have asked about job opportunities, and we've forwarded their information on to HR to see if they would be appropriate for the job.
Well, you're in a great area, and Blair Cone does a great job of
Yes.
promoting the businesses and all.
Yeah.
Do you envision other Edgar and James locations opening up in the LA area?
This is our second Edgar and James store. We opened our first one last year in March in Redondo Beach, and it's very popular in the area. It's growing to be very popular in the Bixby Knolls community. So, we may be looking for one. It has to be in our region of Southern Los Angeles County, but we're always on the lookout.
So no one else in the United States is doing this. It's just here in your area.
Actually, there are other Goodwill territories that have specialty stores like ours.
Gotcha.
But in our territory of Southern Los Angeles County, it's the only Edgar and James store. We've coined that name for our locations.
Very cool. We have less than a minute. Any closing thoughts you'd like to share about Edgar and James? And
just, what we always like to hit home, which is, we're more about, donating your items and shopping at our stores. We love our shoppers. But again, knowing that you're going to donate to Goodwill and Edgar and James and shop in our stores means that you're going to be supporting our mission and helping people in our communities get back to work.
Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for all the great work you guys do at Goodwill. I'd like to thank Lyneath Vong as well as Paulette Thornton here for joining us on today's show. Be sure to follow PadNet TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest updates. We also welcome your comments and thoughts regarding this show as we strive to make Long Beach Lands a favorite source of local news, information, and entertainment. This show has been brought to you with support from the Long Beach Community Action Partnership, helping people, changing lives. Thank you for watching Long Beach Lands.